Hey, got a smoke?
I do. The kind you like. Now where's the amber?
Unfortunately, it's not on me at the moment. And you really should be telling me what a good job I did. Busted my ass and managed to hide it right before I got caught. Which is why I'm still alive.
The deal was, we get you out of here when you deliver the amber. No amber, no protection, Luis.
Such a stickler for details, huh, Ada? Okay, then. I'll go get it now. How about that? And I do have something else I need to get, too.
This is Roost. I've got some bad news, Condor One. With the weather like this, the chopper can't make its approach. Can you stand by until it clears?
Negative. Too dangerous. We're gonna get out of here and find someplace safe.
I'm sorry. I wish I could do more to help.
Don't worry about it. We'll swim home if we have to. Condor 1, out. Let's go.
What's up, you guys? This is One Classic Gamer here. Welcome back to some more RE4 Remake Professional S+. This is Chapter 6 that we're doing here, and yeah, we got a pretty eventful chapter for sure with this one. I don't think this chapter, honestly, is anywhere near as bad as the last chapter, but there's still a moment or two in this chapter that will more than likely give you trouble on your first try. But you guys don't have to worry about that because you got me. You got your boy One Classic here who's going to walk you through it as best as I can. Overall, I don't think my performance was too bad here. I did waste a little bit of time in the middle of this chapter during like I guess they're called the Bella Sisters, the Chainsaw Sisters. I did not want to take any risks, basically, but this spot right here, if you've made it here, congrats, you've made it to save number 4. This is where I am creating my 4th save in the game. The reason being for that is because there are a few parts that are easy to fuck up in the beginning half of this chapter, for sure, and I didn't want to have to go through that cabin holdout section again, which, I mean, you guys all know how that went last time. So always I recommend talking to the merchant first so that you don't have to keep talking to the merchant every time you reload the save. Again, I just want to remind you guys, make sure you are reloading the save from the main menu, not the pause menu or the dev screen menu, because when you do that, it stacks the time. And by the time I get to the end of this chapter, I'm at 2 hours and 15 minutes. And again, we gotta beat this game in 5.5 hours. So this entire first chunk of the game took me 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I believe by the time I got to the end of the castle section, I had like an hour left in the game. So I had to speed run the whole like island section. So I mean, I barely made it, but nevertheless, I made it. So here you want to knife those two guys. Try to be quiet. What I like to do is when you run all the way to the back here and pull the sniper out, you can try to pick these guys off. Here I'm lining up a headshot, but I got really unlucky and it didn't explode. So they kind of got alerted at this point. But you can use 5 sniper bullets to kill all of the enemies here without it even needing to like escalate into a fight. But I fucked this up because I missed these 2 guys right here before I had a shot, and by the time they knew that I was here, it was on, basically. So when the alarm goes off, the big bullhead guy is going to come after you, and a swarm of enemies. Just use whatever you have if you get into this scenario. I actually took them out, I think, fairly quickly, in like a minute or two, but yeah, just be absolutely careful here. It's crazy, like, for the longest time, I could have swore that there was, like, a trip mine right here where we're at, but there isn't. It's literally just an open space. So, make sure you evade. Don't be like me. And we're going to use the shotgun to clear this guy, like to kill this guy. This is my weapon of choice here, obviously, with the bull-headed guy. I think you shoot him in the face a good amount of times and boom, he's dead. So, yeah, now we just got regular enemies to deal with, which are nowhere near as bad, but you can still easily get swarmed here. One thing I haven't mentioned yet that I figured I should after I get this perfect knife parry is that, with the tentacle head guys, you don't necessarily... Watch out for this bear trap, by the way. There's a bear trap right as you jump down. I didn't have time to look behind me, aim down, and shoot it and disable it, so I just jumped down and went into the bear trap anyway. You don't get damaged when you go into the bear trap, but everyone knows that. So one of the things I learned about these tentacle head guys is that you don't have to necessarily hit them in the head to kill them if you are having trouble hitting that target, because the aiming is really weird in this game. I can't stress enough, if you haven't played it before, it is very weird because Leon is very shaky, so there's a lot of weapon sway in this game, and the enemies and AI for the enemies move around in such a way that makes it so cumbersome to fucking line up a shot and hit them, you know. But basically, if you can't hit that main head target on the tentacle head guys, you can shoot in the general direction. Like, you can shoot where the tentacles are, because there's a lot more, you know, to shoot there, and you'll still do damage. So that's usually what I do. I aim above their heads, because the head sometimes is too hard to hit. Even though the tentacle does make their head a little bit bigger, it still is really not easy to hit. With how much Leon, like, fucking shakes like an inexperienced special operative, even though this is, like, not his first rodeo at this point, you know. But we're not getting into story shit, okay, because this is our professional S+ run, alright? Story stuff is when the cutscenes are happening, alright? So, leave me alone. Sorry, that was my water bottle. I'm sure all of you were probably covering your ears like Ashley there. What's it called? There is one guy in here. Do not run inside. I usually run to the, like, right a little bit until I can see him through the doorway, and then I just take him out that way. He is one of those tentacle head guys. Like I said, I think in the last part, or chapter 4, sometimes the enemies turn into tentacle head guys or mutated guys, and sometimes they don't. It's really random, but I think when you are, like, in an arena, for example, like this, where we're about to fight a bunch of enemies, there are a certain amount of enemies that are programmed to become, like, mutated or turn into tentacle head guys. And one of the things that I did in chapter 3, I remember, is that you can kneecap them as they're running at you, and then they'll fall over, and then you can knife them and disable them before they even, you know, mutate, or the tentacle even comes out of their head. Because you never really know. Either that, or you play it the way I play it. You stay as close as you can. Once that body falls, you run up to the body, like I just did right there. And, you know, it's such a tiny little thing, but, you know, it's a lot easier to deal with when, you know, obviously you can knife them while they're down, because you don't want to have, like, 3 or 4 tentacle head guys running around the map. This particular area, we're going to do kind of like a circular pattern like we did with the village assault in the first chapter, where we're just going to go around in a circle repeatedly until all of the enemies are dead, because this is the chainsaw Bella Sisters part. So up here is a yellow herb. Grab that. I wouldn't recommend using any of your herbs right now. I mean, we're safe right now. All you really have to worry about are those 2 enemies in the beginning, until you do the next thing that triggers the cutscene and the boss to happen. It's not really a boss, it's more of an encounter, but I usually order Ashley to hide in that locker right there, and what we're going to do is we're going to get the treasures first. I mean, you don't have to do this, but I only got them because I was paranoid that I was going to forget them. This is the only required treasure, by the way. That other one that I shot down is an expanded map treasure, so it doesn't really matter if you grab that, but it is an extra spinel, so I would recommend getting it. So We got the elegant headdress here. We're almost done with the treasures, and we got the spinel here. That's what I was shooting earlier. So yeah, if you guys are watching the gameplay and you're like, damn, your aim fucking sucks, bro. Like, it is my aim, but it's also the fact that aiming in this game is not easy. It really is not easy. You need to experience it yourself before you can, like, talk shit and say that the aiming sucks in this game. But yeah, we're about to trigger this fight, so when you're ready, jump down here. I usually smash these crates, and then I also take out this lock here so that we have a way out when the action starts. Take out this lock, there's a first aid spray, and yeah, the fight starts over here.
Great. Sorry, didn't realize that was yours.
Okay, so the first thing I usually do here is I grenade these bitches, and then I pull the machine gun out, and I just unload on them as much as I can. It doesn't take long before the enemies start rushing in here, and you have to, like, actually worry about them, but you obviously cannot stay in there forever. I got really unlucky RNG here, and as I was, like, shaking off those flames, that fucking pitchfork guy just charged at me, literally for no reason. That's an example of bad RNG right there. I mean, you've already seen it. You're gonna see it more throughout even this run. Even this was my successful run. I had so many close calls in this entire run. This guy brought me all the way back down to hell, like low health. So now we're gonna start using our herbs. Yeah, I was kind of hesitant on crafting stuff because I didn't have the materials and resources that I needed. But usually what I do here is I'll go in a circular pattern. I'll run back here, and I'll try to pick them off with the submachine gun first because, you know, we have ammo for it. As soon as they get too close, jump down, run down this way, shoot this lantern down. It'll do some damage to them. In fact, it's actually burning one of the chainsaw sisters right now. So, and then I make my way back and run back. Always be careful when you're making this trip back because there are always going to be guys down here on the trip back. It is so annoying. And always watch your left here too as you're going up the stairs because there's a ladder here and the enemies can climb up. At this point, you should have still probably like one or two guys up ahead. But, and I think I'm going to get hit by one of them from behind. But pull the sniper out here. Do as many shots as you can on these flamethrower guys. And then, okay, no, we're clear. When they get too close, run back, reload again. And then I usually just keep repeating this pattern, basically. Try to get as many hits in as you can while they're coming at you. And then right as they're about to hit you, jump down, because it's an insta-kill. I mean, you can parry it, but we don't want to do the knife damage, to be honest, because, you know, repairing your knife is an extra cost, and, you know, you want to avoid spending as much as you can in this game for the later parts. There are some bosses, like, way later in the game, like in the last few hours, where there's two bosses in particular where I actually used the rocket launcher from the merchant. Like, I bought the rocket launcher. Yeah, some people may see it as cheating because it's a one-hit kill, but it's available, like, the whole game almost at the merchant shop, and it costs a fuck ton of money, so I don't really see it as cheating, especially since it's a single-use weapon. So, for the most part, though, I got through all of this game, you know, just using all of these weapons that the game gives you, like the normal-ass weapons. It drove me crazy because the entire, like, I don't know how long I spent on this. I think I spent like 2 to 3 weeks trying to get through this game with the S+ rank, maybe a month. I was constantly looking up guides and all that sort of stuff. And all the guides that I would see, like Neon Slice, Carcinogen, all these other guides, it was like they were literally just doing a New Game Plus run. And that made it hard for me because I wasn't doing New Game Plus, I was doing New Game. New Game is the only way to get, I believe, the S+ rank. Here you can shoot that down. I would recommend waiting a little bit for the enemies to show up before you shoot it down, because that fire doesn't burn forever. There is a tentacle head guy here that I kill. In this situation, when your back is turned to the stairs in the direction where the chainsaw guys are coming, or sisters, I would always recommend advancing while you're firing at stuff, so that you're constantly moving forward and like moving away from it, because these chainsaw sisters can fucking creep up on you. It's you know, they've proven time and time again that they're masters at this, obviously. I mean, those chainsaws are bloody for a reason. They have obviously been butchering villagers prior to this encounter with me. But yeah, just keep running in this pattern. It might seem redundant, but I'm you know, this is honestly the best way, I think, to get through this. Here, doing the old run-up technique, I was able to knife that guy just in time. They do sprout into tentacles and mutate a lot quicker on professional. In, like, you know, hardcore mode or like normal or standard, you know, they'll convulse for a lot longer, basically. But here we're finally about to kill the final chainsaw sister, and now all we have to do is clear the enemies out. So at this point, I believe Ashley will come out of hiding, and you shouldn't have to worry about her getting taken, but I would still hang by the locker that you tell her to hide in, just in case, because I have had it happen before, once or twice, while I'm fighting the chainsaw sisters. Like, Ashley just gets grabbed and carried away, and it's like the most annoying shit in the world. So we got that guy, and the last enemy for me was this dude right here, this poor guy who's been running around with his like crooked ass head for the whole time. So that's literally the end of the encounter. Try to loot as much as you can. If you keep going in a circular pattern, you should pretty much have looted everything at this point. But yeah, now we can move on. The next part coming up ahead is really, really short, and I'm going to do my best to walk you guys through it. Overall, that right there, I think, is the hardest enemy encounter in the chapter. We do have the boss with Mendez at the end of the chapter, which is actually, like, tough if it's your first time doing it. You're not going to get through it on your first try. I'll just say that right now. In fact, I made it all the way up to the castle and was like, all right, I'll go back and reload that 5th save again just to see if I can get more time. And I died multiple times. So yeah, but before that, we got the whole chase section coming up ahead where Mendez surprises us and is chasing us, and we have to just run. This part can be tough, but I'm going to do my best to walk you guys through it. It really isn't that tough. I'll show you guys everything you need to do in order to survive this part. Just make sure you loot this entire area, and yeah, when you're ready, make a run for it and have the shotgun equipped.
All right. Come on.
Okay. Leon!
Your soul requires cleansing. Come, child. Ashley, run!
Okay, so first things first, we're going to turn around immediately and make a run for it. With the shotgun equipped, we're not going to shoot this guy until he's literally point blank range. We're then going to use the shotgun to shoot these two guys, pull the pistol out. We're going to use this barrel to take out a majority of these guys, and then we're going to pull the flashbang out and throw it right as we get past the flame. And that should give you just enough time to get around the corner and survive this whole insane encounter.
This way! Okay?
I'm stuck!
We need to go! Oh! You gotta be kidding me! Then run! Close one.
All right, and yeah, that I may have made that look a little bit too easy, but trust me when I say that that part right there can surprisingly give you trouble every now and then, and it's really annoying to make it this far only to die on that stupid ass part. So all we've got at this point is the Mendez boss fight, and this is actually where we're going to create our 5th save. I know we're doing another save in this chapter, 2 saves in the same chapter. The reason why I tried to hold out as long as I could in the first few chapters before I did that first save was so that I can have a couple of them for this particular section of the game. I don't think this fight coming up is the hardest fight in the game. He is actually pretty easy once you get to learn his pattern, and there is a way, a method we're going to use to take him out fairly quickly. Not the quickest. I'm not a pro at this or anything, but we're still going to take him out pretty quick. Make sure you have your shotgun and your rifle powered up here, basically. That's all the advice I can give you. You might not have enough money to purchase that many resources, but we should be doing just fine. So we're going to save here, and then, yeah, we're going to move on, basically, because we got the Mendez fight coming up right now.
Cease your pointless struggling. Abandon your body to the will of our God.
You're a shitty missionary. You know that.
Oh, Almighty, grant me the strength to crush your enemies.
Son of a bitch.
Ashley, run!
Hasta luego.
God, I thank you for your gift.
You want to get ugly? Let's get ugly.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to climb up this ladder, and we're basically going to loot the area. I kind of went over this in another one of my videos. I don't remember which one it was, because I make a shit ton of videos. But one of the first things I always do during a boss fight is I like to run around and loot the area as best as I can. Doing that can always be tough, especially on these harder difficulties, to avoid the enemies and not get hit, but trust me when I say that, in the long run it's worth it. So we're gonna parry this guy, keep parrying him and keep evading. There is one wind up attack that he'll do. When he starts to do that attack, you do not want to be up here. This is the attack right here. When he starts to do this, you want to jump down, because if you don't, he's gonna hit you. Sometimes he'll hit you while you're going up this ladder, but I got lucky. These parries are not that hard to do. You could actually mash the button and get most of these parries, but it doesn't really matter if you shoot him in the eye. Just keep shooting him, period, because as soon as he's down, we're gonna unload on that eyeball with the sniper rifle, and that's gonna get us into the second phase pretty quickly. So make sure to evade. This phase is really easy. As soon as he's down, pull the sniper out and just start shooting him in the eye. 4 or 5 shots should usually do the trick. If it doesn't, he's literally 1 or 2 pistol shots away from going into the second phase. So yeah, that's the end of the first phase. And this phase is a little bit trickier. He's gonna continuously throw this shit at us, but as long as you are constantly strafing, you should be fine in this particular section. I usually just unload on him with the pistol. I think that was pretty much all I had at this point. There are some resources down here. When he throws them like that, you can literally stand still and not get hit. So, yeah. I get hit here Try not to get hit, honestly. I'm sorry if you hear the train in the background. It just so happens to be going by right now, and that fucking train is loud as hell. So sometimes he'll pull these barrels out, shoot the barrel, you'll do extra damage, which is a plus. And yeah, this phase is a little bit longer, not that much longer, but be on the lookout for when he does that. He's going to start charging at us, so, you know, don't be afraid to heal. Yeah, basically we're just going to strafe left and right, left and right here, and just keep unloading on him. Eventually he's going to go down, and then once he goes down, we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before. With the sniper rifle, we're going to unload on that freaking eyeball. So he is, believe it or not, almost done at this point. We beat this boss in about 2 minutes, which is pretty crazy. So as soon as he goes down, pull out that rifle, start shooting the eyeball. Even if you don't see the eyeball like burst, it's still fine. You're still doing the damage, and then knife him at the last second. So I got lucky here and was able to craft some machine gun ammo, and I basically used that in my pistol to finish him off. So the fight is pretty much in the bag at that point. So yeah, that didn't make any sense, but whatever. Blow me.
Leon! Leon! Quick! This place is coming down!
Give my regards to your god.
Leon, hurry! You're welcome.
Thanks.
And just like that, we're done with the village section now. So we're at 2:15 in our playtime. There are 2 more treasures up here. If you haven't gotten all the treasures in the village section at this point, this will be when you get the trophy. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up the commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. And yeah, I will see you guys in the castle. Peace.
What's going on?
Well, at least we don't have to worry about being followed. Come on.